This is the DJI Action 5 Pro, and I've been using this camera for a while now. I've had it when it first came out, and I've had my struggles with it because there was lots of firmware updates and things like that, and there's this weird lens flare. But overall, it was pretty good, and they have fixed a lot of these problems with the exception of that lens flare with a lot of firmware updates. Now, the one thing that I really liked about this camera was the fact that it took really good pictures. I was really surprised by that. It was almost as good as a point-and-shoot camera, like in some cases better because it feels more compact. It's very rugged, so you can use it in cold weather. So if you're in Canada or you're in a place where you get a lot of rain, maybe London, England, one of those places, this is really good for taking pictures. I was surprised. It had a lot of settings for photography too. Now, the only thing that I didn't like was the fact that you don't have a proper grip like you do with a real point-and-shoot camera. So it's no surprise that companies like Telesin have noticed how popular one of these are at taking pictures, and they developed this interesting little rig. This is the Telesin camera grip holder, and they've made one for the DJI cameras, GoPro, and the Insta360. But I really think that the DJI cameras do a really good job when it comes to taking photos, just because I noticed that a lot of the same settings that you would have in a point and shoot are in here. I thought that I would try out this camera grip on this camera and see. I do use their cages. I think their cages are really good, and I buy a lot of Telesin stuff with my own money. So Telesin did send me this for the purposes of review, but this video is not sponsored. Telesin has never sponsored any of my videos. They send me items, I will check them out. If they're good, I'll let you know. If they're not so good, I'll let you know too. But for the most part, I buy a lot of their stuff, and the reason why I buy a lot of stuff from Telesin and other companies like Newer is because this channel is about what's budget friendly, so good bang for your buck. Telesin definitely falls in that category because when you look at the price point of their products versus the competition, they're very, very competitive, and the quality isn't sacrificed either, so the quality is still there. I've got two of their cages, and I also have their ND filters. Now, they did make a mistake. They were supposed to send me this grip here a while ago, and I ended up getting something else instead. And I actually own some of that same stuff myself already. However, on the filters, I noticed that they have some specifically for the Action 5 Pro. Now, I do have some interesting news about the upcoming DJI Action 6 camera, if you're interested, and I'm going to let you know what those secrets are later on in the video. If you're curious about the sensor size, the field of view, and all that other stuff, I've got some news on that. I'm going to probably buy that camera when it comes out, but today we're talking about the 5 Pro and how this grip works on it, and it does take really good pictures. So I can't wait to use this grip on this camera. So anyways, let's go to the downward shot and let's check out what you get in the box and see how well it connects with this, and is it just an afterthought or is it really a functional item? Because at the end of the day, if it's not functional, then there's no point in getting it, right? So let's just go down and check it out. So here it is here, and it's for the Action 5, the 4, and the 3. So I also own the 4 as well, and I also own the 3 as well. So I own all of them. And here is the 4. And so I can verify if the 4 fits in here. And I think my 3 is kicking around here somewhere too. Yep. I've got the 3. I don't use the 3 very much, but I've got the 3 here too. But when it comes to photography, so I'll just go back to me really quickly. So the Action 3 and the 4, they take pictures, but the 5 has a much better photography settings than the 4 or the 3. It's a lot more detailed, a lot more involved. There's just more settings. Plus you can take burst shots and things like that. I can't wait for this 6 to come out. I have a feeling it's going to take even better pictures. So, but this 5, it's pretty good. You can realistically use it as a point and shoot camera, no problem. So sorry about that little bit of noise on here. That's me. Anyways, let's go back to the downward shot. So let's get this out of the box. And before we do, ergonomic design, high strength aluminum alloy. So it also protects your camera. So it's kind of a cage as well. It's not just a grip. And it's a certified Telesin device. So I'm just going to zoom in because that's important. There are lots of counterfeits, and even though this comes from China, there are counterfeits. There are counterfeiters from China counterfeiting Chinese stuff even. So you got to be careful of that. So if you're making sure, make sure that you're getting a real Telesin item. And unlike other counterfeiters, their stuff is pretty budget friendly to begin with. So you're much better to get the original, in my opinion, than you are to get one of those. Now I just got to get in here. Let me just see if I can get rid of these seals. Okay, so and it's packaged pretty good, actually. There's nothing wrong with the packaging. I would say the packaging is pretty close to premium packaging. Yeah, let's check it out. We'll know when we get inside. Oh, here we are. Wow, this is nice. So it is a cage as well. So you've got a cage in here, but this cage is specifically designed, and it looks very similar to the other cage that I've got on here. So I wonder if you can even use the existing cage. So there seems to be a bit of a difference here maybe on the milling, but everything else looks pretty close. And this is the button, I believe. Yeah, it goes there. And hand strap. And what is we got here? There we go. That's pretty heavy. I think I got everything. I'm just looking to see if I'm missing anything. Nope. Don't think so. Oh, that's what I was looking for. The key. The key is magnetic, and you need that for this. I wonder if I can fit that on the original. I wonder if it'll fit there. Looks like it will. Well, I'll be darned. I think it might. And maybe I got it backwards. Yeah, I do. The grip part should face the front. I gotta just put it on the original. The other one, I mean. Just to see. Just to see if it works. Who knows? Because that would be some valuable information. Because you'd have a spare cage. You'd have a spare cage. Now, I do know that the 5 was a little bit tighter, because when I get it in and out of the other cage, this one, it was a little bit, more snug. But look, I got the grip on there, and that's, I'm just going to go back to me and show you what that looks like. So that's what the grip looks like. It just allows you to have a better handhold on there. You could even use this button here if you wanted to, and just go like that. But this thing here is designed. You see the little cold shoe mount here? And it's got a little spring on there. See, like that? It's got a little spring. So that just slides into the cold shoe of the cage. And look, this is the one that comes with it. This is the one. So, and then if you look here, when you push down on this, it pivots and it hits that. And look, I turn on the camera automatically. So you can activate video or photography. and you see it's already recording because it's on video. And if I hit that, it'll shut off, and then it automatically will shut off the camera. Now I'm going to turn on the camera just to show you the photography settings because they are different. There we go. So let me just see, I got to go here and then I go to photography mode because their photography settings, so you can shoot 16 by 9 and you can do 9 pictures to 3 seconds, and then I think you've got, there we go. So that says 8 megapixel picture if I want 30 shots, and this one here is a 36 megapixel picture if I hit 9 shot burst. So this is a much better setting. And we'll just get out of there. So if I hit this, it's taking 9 pictures, and that's a lot, and you see how fast it took them. So let me just shut the camera off. So the nice thing about having an action camera, and I'm just going to go back to me, and you do have to make sure that you do your settings so that it will stay in the last setting, like camera mode. Okay, so let's say I need to do a quick shoot, and I would just take the sucker out, I would click it, and now it's going to shut off. You can't beat that kind of performance with a point and shoot, you know, and then you can just take your little lens cap and put that on there, throw that in your bag, and you're done. So let's go to back to the downward shot and put it in the case that came with it and see what that looks like. Okay, so we've done our little experiment with this case, and this is the one that I had before. Also a Telesin case, by the way, just so you know that that's why it was compatible. And I'm going to just unscrew this now and get this off, and then we'll, very well made, and you got some extra mounts, by the way, so if you want to mount it to a tripod or put a quick release for a tripod, you can, which is nice. And I'll just pop this off. So it disassembles, no problem, very easy. Take this out. So it's a little more snug in the other case. So let's see if it's just as snug in this one. And we're gonna, I have a feeling that it'll be a little bit better. Oh yeah, it slides in really good in this one. Oh yeah, so this cage is a little bit looser so that it allows the 5 Pro. It's not as tight fitting as it was in this one here, so that's actually better. And then we'll just slide this on like so, and we'll put this on. Oh, this is great, this is wonderful. All right. Oh, I just took some pictures. I hit the button, and it shut itself off. So you can do that too. Okay, so we got that. All right, I'm just going to go back to the other angle here. So that's what it looks like with the cage that it comes with. Looks pretty good, nice and sharp, all black. Makes it look like a legit point and shoot camera, like nice grip on there. It's comfortable, you know. And that's the other thing too, is, and it's got that flexibility here too, so you know it's nice, pretty good. You can still, you know, if you wanted to get the battery out, you can just go like this. So if you need to get out change out the battery, and you're worried that, you know, now you've got this grip on, that's why this flips up. So this flips up so you can get that out and go like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I want to take some pictures. All I got to do is pop off my little lens cap. Bam, 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 bam. You can hear that clicking. Shuts itself off, saves the battery. That's pretty good performance. I could put ND filters on it because I got some ND filters. So I'm going to show you those. Okay, so I have my own, but they sent me others. But they don't go to waste because I will use them on my, like I said, I own all of them. I got the 4, I got the 3. They fit on those 2, by the way. I'm going to put on the, what is this, the CPL filter? Yeah, we'll try the CPL filter. So they just fit over top. So you take off the cover and they just slide over top just like so. Pretty good. It's a polarizing filter. So let's say you want to shoot some fish underwater swimming. You don't want to get that sun glare. You want to get through into the water, see like beneath the water, and that's what you use. It's also good, let's say you're taking pictures of something in a storefront and you don't want the glare from the glass. Well, that's what a CPL filter is good for. And I'm just trying to see, where did I put that? Okay, so this fits in the handle, and then you can just clip it like this, and then it fits inside here, and then you can just go like that and it hides it, and you won't lose it because this keeps it from being lost. So now I have a waterproof camera. Now the only thing is that this no longer fits, so I have to put it in a case. Will it fit in the case like that? I don't think so. No, it does not. So you would just simply take this off if you weren't using it. I'm taking pictures of myself again. And then you would put this, and you would, if you wanted to, so if you want to take it off, you would just slide this off. This comes off very easily. And then you can take this out. Your camera can now come out. And then you can put it in one of these cases. And Telesin sells these too, just so you know. They sell everything. And that's one of the reasons why I use them. So just to reiterate, here's the cage. That's what the cage looks like. And this is what it looks like with it mounted that way, right? So it's a fully functioning cage. So you want to put your camera in here. Go like so. Take your 5 Pro or your 4 and slide it in like so. And then just clip that on there and you're loaded. You're good to go. Pretty good. And the filters, slap on the lens. They come in their own little carry case. You've got the CPL filter, you've got an ND8, a 16, and a 32. So you've got all of them. They're fantastic. I've used them before. Like I said, I have my own. I have my own. See? Duplicates. I bought these ones. They didn't know. They didn't know I buy their stuff. No, I'm just kidding. They knew that I bought their stuff. I have a lot of their stuff. I also have a lot of stuff from other companies that, any company that I believe is a good bang for your buck, I will buy their stuff. So if they approach me for collaborations, I'm like, yes, I'm all for that, because that's what my channel's all about. And but I don't do sponsored videos, and I don't do paid affiliate links. So I don't get a commission if you were to buy this cage. Now, what does this cage cost? Well, I believe this cage is a little over $100, so it's kind of on the pricier side. However, given the fact that one of these cages sell for about, one of these is about $45 to $50 in around that area, and then you're paying extra for the grip. Now, the grip isn't just a grip, it also has extra mounting points on the bottom. So taking that into consideration, I think that it is it's still a pretty good deal, you know. Comparing it with other camera grips that are from different companies, I think it's pretty good. You know, it's comparable anyway. And it makes your Action camera look like $1,000 point and shoot camera. So, and the fact that this thing really performs, like you've seen me I hit the button twice by accident already, and it just powers on, snap, 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 snap. And if I had it on the lower megapixel setting, it would have took 30 pictures. So that's crazy. So if you're taking some action shots, it's going to work pretty good. You know, you're not going to get the higher resolution. These were 36 megapixel pictures that I took in a matter of seconds. Like I said, again, I hit the button and it just, you know, and I just took some pictures of the lens caps. So, you know, just make sure you take that off. But it's fantastic. I like it. And if I took my 3, and I'm just going to see if get my 3 in there. Yep. So the 3 fits into the other cage too. So that means that the 3 will fit into this one and the 4 will fit into that one. Now, we're going to talk briefly about the Action 6 because it's not out yet. And I have done my homework as far as addressing some rumors. Now, a lot of people have been making videos about the Action 6 and you know, they're just trying to get some views, to be honest. And part of me doesn't blame them, but at the other side of the coin, I'm thinking, you know, just spit out the information you got and leave it alone. So this is what I found out about the Action 6. So if you've hung around this long, I'm going to tell you about the Action 6. The information that I know and I believe is confirmed, okay? So I don't think it's rumor anymore. I think that this is confirmed because I got a screenshot of the front of the camera. So I'm going to show you something. If you look at this camera and you can kind of see there's numbers in the lens ring right here. And you'll see those numbers. They're very small. And on this one here, same thing. You'll see some numbers in the lens ring and they're very small. So what I was trying to do was get a good shot of that lens ring on the leaked photos of the Action 6 because I knew that that's going to tell me what I need to know about the camera. Action 3, by the way, doesn't have any. So not all of them had that, but the 4 and the 5 did. So when you look at the 5 Pro, it'll tell you it's got a field of view. It's got an FOV or field of view of 155. It has an f-stop of 2.8. And it has a 1/1.3 inch sensor. It tells you that right on the ring. Look, I just took some more pictures of myself. And on the 4, it says I have an FOV or field of view of 155, an f-stop of 2.8, and a 1/1.3 inch sensor. So same size sensor as the Action 5. But they did do some, you know, I guess they changed the type of sensor. It's a 4 nanometer sensor, whatever, right? So this is what I know about the Action 6, is it's a 1/1.1 sensor. That's what was on the ring anyway, of the picture that I seen. That it had an f-stop between, it had 2. You could go from 2 to 4. What does that tell me? It means you can adjust your aperture, which means that it might have stepped focusing. Yes, step focusing. That means that for those who like to vlog and they feel that they're out of focus, it may have a type of focusing system. Not continuous, because that would be bad for an action camera. You would have all kinds of problems. But if you had a focus system in which you were able to, let's say, set it up for certain situations, then it would actually be beneficial. So you would use one for vlogging and one for, let's say you're screaming down the side of a mountain on a mountain bike, and you know, you want everything to be in focus. So you would use like an f-stop of 4 on that, and then you would use an f-stop of 2 on yourself, because that would help get you that blurry background that's behind me. You know what I mean? So it'll help with that, especially with a bigger sensor. Now, the other thing I found out was it had a field of view of, guess what, 155. So that was on the photo from Igor, I think it's Burganov or Borgan, I can't remember the last name, but when I seen that picture, I was able to enhance it, and that's what I seen around the lens ring. So that's what I got out of that picture anyway. And I guess his leaks are the most credible out of all of them. So if you hung around this long, that's what I learned about the Action 6. It looks like it's going to have a variable f-stop. It looks like it's going to have a 1-inch sensor, and it looks like it's going to have a field of view of 155. And it also looks like I'm going to have to buy that camera also. So another camera. Now, I don't know what other features it's going to have. And as far as the focusing system goes, I'm only guessing on the stepped focusing, but stepped focusing would be the better way to go than, let's say, autofocus. But if it does have a variable f-stop, it should have, you know, hand in hand some type of focusing system that coordinates with it. So when you switch your f-stop, it should focus according to that f-stop is what I'm getting at. And a lot of people that complain about using an action camera for vlogging, that they would be happy with that because you would have a closer focusing, so you would have a sharper image of yourself and more blurry background behind you. And that's all I got on that. So I do know that I'm more than likely going to buy one, and if you're interested in those features, then you should probably order one too. Anyways, that's it for this video. I would like to thank Telesin for sending me out this. This is a really cool rig, and I did another video on, you know, what this camera can do photography wise. So if you want to check out that video, I'll put it on the end screen, and then that way you can see what the 5 Pro does photography wise. But as far as rigs go, this is great. And if you have the the other cage, this one here, it will actually transfer. You can fit, I just showed you, you can fit these components right on that cage. So, and that's fantastic. Having things that are what I refer to as sideways compatible, you know, is not a bad thing. It's actually quite good, because what if you're in a position where maybe you lost a cage, or you just, you lost this part and you just wanted another one? Well, now you know you can just buy that piece and you don't have to buy the whole thing, because buying the whole thing would be quite expensive. Now, I've got some more accessories from Telesin. I'll be doing those on a separate video, and they refer to this camera here, the DJI Nano. So I've got some accessories, and I'll be talking about how those work with this camera, because it's a different camera. Anyways, that's it for this video. Take care, be safe at work, and I will see you at the next video. Bye.